I'll call the October 2nd, 2017 meeting of the Limestone County Commission to order. Pamela, are there any public comments?
Not any.
Could you call roll, please, ma'am?
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Commissioner Turner.
Here.
Commissioner Black.
Here.
Commissioner Harrison.
Here.
All present and accounted for. Commissioner Black, would you lead us in our pledge?
Will. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. You've got to move.
Well, you put the flag right behind me.
Yes, I did. What? All righty. Our first item on the agenda would be approve the minutes from September 18th and 27th of 2017. Do I hear such motion?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Hill. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Our next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve claims in an amount of $3,222,570.32. Do I hear such motion?
I make a motion.
A motion by Mr. Turner. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item under resolutions and orders, I'll ask for a motion. Chief, you. I'll ask for a motion to approve resolution providing for Limestone County's participation in the severe weather preparedness tax holidays as authorized by Act Number 2012-256. Do I hear such motion?
Make the motion approved.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next items under contracts, agreements, and grants. Item number 1, I'll ask for a motion to approve contract with the Department of Youth Services for the 2017-2018 diversion grant for the Juvenile Probation Office. The grant is in the amount of $44,100. Do I hear such motion?
I make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
A second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I will call for the vote.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve contract with Katie Hanson to be the Community Service Coordinator for the Juvenile Probation Office Program, paid for by the 2017-2018 Department of Youth Services grant. The contract is for 30 hours per week at $14 per hour. Do I hear such motion?
I make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve contract with the Family Life Center Incorporated to provide outpatient substance abuse treatment to juveniles in the Juvenile Probation Office Program, paid for by the 2017-2018 the Department of Youth Services grant. Cost of this service is $15,000 for the grant cycle. Do I hear such motion?
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hill, Mr. Black in unison.
Commissioner Hill.
Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve agreement with North Alabama Highway Safety Office for project funds in the amount of $2,000 approved under the following grants, retroactive to September 25th, 2017. 1, the 402 STEP in the amount of $1,000, and 2, the high visibility alcohol for $1,000. Do I hear such a motion?
Make a motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Turner. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve a contract with Tracking Solutions to provide ankle monitoring services to juveniles in the Juvenile Probation Office Program, paid for by the 2017-2018 Department of Youth Services Grant. Do I hear such motion?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Hill. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve the mobile 311 agreement for work order tracking computer program pending the county attorney approval. Do I hear such motion?
Make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, approve CCS garbage price modification. Do I hear such motion?
I make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Harrison. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. There are no budget revisions, no emergency purchases, no board appointments to come before the commission. Next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve awarding the bids to, for gas and diesel to W.H. Thomas Oil Company in the amount of 25 cents margin over rack. I'm gonna do this in two, Pam, since we're
Okay.
gonna discuss the
Yeah,
other.
that's good.
Do I hear such motion to award the gas and diesel?
I make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion?
I will just make the comment, it's kind of related. There is no algae treatment in the diesel, I found out. I thought that they were been putting some algae treatment. We do have an algae problem at our shed, so,
Probably not alone.
yeah.
We don't. We treat ours in the tank. I buy the,
Well, we are too now.
yeah, because it was showing up in my truck. In my filter, the algae was.
If there's no further discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next time, there will be discussion and explanation after we get our motion. Well, I'll probably just tell you now what we got. You know, as you know, we own the Christmas lights that go around. We're not putting them on top of the building, top of the courthouse, top of the commission office due to, we've replaced those gutters. We've had problems with that in the past. There'll still be the lights on the trees, the wreaths and all that. Well, in the past, the difference you see in the price is between $15,875. That's to place our lights up. And then there'll be an additional cost to that to replace whatever bulbs are shot. Last year, it ran around $1,400, Pam said. So you'd be looking around $1,400, we assume, you know, if it runs like last year, in addition to this $15,875. Or you have the option to upgrade to all LED lights for $19,875. And now, what I'm gonna do, if it's all right, I'm just gonna see what y'all think you're gonna do, and I'll entertain a motion for whichever one y'all wanna go with.
So you're looking at putting them up for 15,875.
Plus a
Say
possible.
average 1,400, so at 17,000 to put up the old lights and replace the bulbs, or we can put up all new lights that are LED for $2,000 more.
Roughly. About 2,500, because 1,400 is gonna run around 23, you know,
And we own the lights.
17.3.
And
we own the
yeah,
lights.
and we'll own either set. We'll own the LED ones also,
Yes, sir.
That's correct.
which will last longer, use less electricity.
Hopefully.
Okay,
So,
I like that idea. I'm just gonna put my 2 cents in. I like the idea. I know it's $2,000 more, but if we're looking at the big picture down the road,
what, you know, since I've been here, we've been approving 20,000 a year. So, I mean, if you,
This takes I think it was 17 last year, wasn't it?
was it?
I
thought it
don't
was
remember.
20
It
or
was,
something.
Okay.
It might have been.
it's about the
This is-
same, it's
this
about
is-
this 19,000 something.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
But this is
exactly.
nothing on the roofs, nothing around the, is taking that off.
You remember Taz had
But he was
talked
the only
about
bidder, right?
Yes, he's the only bidder. That's the only reason.
the
we can do
gutters
this.
on the commission office and the courthouse, as we know, as we well know, the downspouts are inside the building. And these clips over years that they put the lights up had fell down in the gutters, washed down, and clogged up those drains, which is one reason we're just not gonna put them up. And it's not gonna take away from either building either way. So
And they don't need to be going up on the roof.
right now, especially because they copper gutters on the commission and that other on this.
That's worth $2,000 not getting up on the roof.
So I'll entertain a motion from anybody either way. Y'all tell me how you want to go.
I'll make the motion to upgrade to all LED lights.
I have a motion to exercise the $19,875 option to upgrade to all LED lights. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Further discussion?
I look at it this way, our square is beautiful during the holidays as anywhere you want to go. People love it, people talk about it. We have lots and lots of people that shop around the square and lots of people that drive around the square at night just to look at the lights. So I really like the idea of making it more aesthetic.
Pam, what all does it include outside the tree, the lights in the trees? There's some wreaths on the door, and
Wreaths
what
on the
else?
doors.
What else do they do?
I don't remember if the bid actually had the shrubbery here at the Clinton building. All that's at the courthouse is the trees and the wreaths. Now that, we don't do the top of the building. Our building is only the wreaths. There's gonna be no lights there. And then
What about the annex?
the,
Yeah, they put
I'm
lights
not, I
around here,
think that,
don't they?
they do
In
put
the
them in the
trees.
trees here. I just don't know if they put them in the shrubs or, I don't remember if the bid recalled for around the shrubs of the building here also, but I'm thinking it did. But, the archives also has wreaths on that building, and those all have lights on them.
What do you got?
That's it, I'm through. We got a motion. and-
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Motion carries unanimously. I don't know, you look like you finna say something, so I didn't know. All right, personnel action. I'll ask for a motion to approve family medical leave for Tom Gilbert, beginning September 22nd, 2017, and ending December 22nd, 2017. Do I hear such a motion?
Make a motion.
Have a motion by Mr. Turner. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Motion carries unanimously. That time we're really increased our ratings on live streaming is our esteemed engineers report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today. We have one, we actually, I think originally had two subdivisions for you. However, Hedgepeth subdivision has been pulled. The property owners have changed their mind on how they want to do that, so that one gets pulled today. But I still have the James William Armstrong subdivision. This is also a minor subdivision. If this approval, if you give it, will be preliminary and final. It's in District 1. It consists of 2 lots. It's about 3/4 mile west of I-65 on the north side of Sandland Road.
Thank you, sir. I'll ask for a motion to approve James Williams Armstrong subdivision as described by our county engineer. Do I hear such a motion?
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Hill. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Harrison. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Motion carries unanimously. Is there anything further?
That's all I have for you, sir, this morning.
Thank you, sir. In other business, I'll ask for a motion to approve to remove the following from inventory: 4 Cisco digital media players, 4 Cisco IP cameras, and a Sophos UTM appliance, which I have no idea what that is. So, do I hear such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? And our esteemed IT department head is present, so he could explain that to us if anybody needs to know. So I'm assuming that He's removing it, we don't need it. So if there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Motion carries unanimously. There are no scheduled public hearings. We'll move at this time to report of our officers. Commissioner Hill?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've had quite a few accidents up on 251 and Bethel Road. I'm proud to announce that we do have rumble strips on our right-of-way on Bethel Road, and we've got caution lights ordered to go on the stop-ahead signs. And the engineering department's working with AlDOT on what they're going to do on 251. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Turner?
Yeah, I'm make a motion to approve to lower the speed limit on Mooresville Road to 45 miles an hour between Highway 72 and Huntsville-Browns Ferry Road.
We have a motion to approve the lower the speed limit on Mooresville Road to 45 mile an hour from Highway 72 to Huntsville-Browns Ferry Road. Do I hear a second?
Second.
A second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Motion carries unanimously. Anything further?
We're trying to wrap up what we hope to be the final round of bush hogging this week. The weather cooperates with us. We should be able to do that. We finished the chip seal in our district last week. It'll be a couple of weeks when the contractor comes back to sweep it all off, but we're pretty happy with what we're seeing. I know it may be a little inconvenient or possibly not what some people expected or wanted in their subdivisions, but under our current budget restraints, it's what we're able to do.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Black?
We're just continuing to do maintenance. We're still bush hogging for our second round. We hope to wrap up the triple seal tomorrow and Wednesday. We also have engineering, weather permitting, this week to do some chip sealing on about 3 miles of road that we have that they'll be doing for us. So look forward to doing that. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Harrison?
The project on Baker Hill and finishing up on the Baker Hill Upper Mills portion was supposed to be done last Thursday. The contractor had some problems. I think most of their problems were on Highway 53, but they're having trouble getting back to it. They're supposed to be back, I understand, bright in the morning.
That's what they said.
If they didn't have any more trouble over the weekend. We had get some concerns and complaints, the same as Steve has on the type of road they were expecting a plant mix, but that's just out of the question. This is an alternative that we're investigating, and I think I'm pleased with it. It will be a little bit of dust till we get it swept for the final time, but we're waiting 2 weeks after the time that we put it down before we get the final sweep. That's all I have.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the victims in Las Vegas of that awful, horrific shooting they had last night at the concert. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but you probably will, for this month, the courthouse will be lit pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's a beautiful shade on the courthouse. It looks nice. Sheriff, quit laughing at me out there. But it really does. Thank you, Michelle, for taking care of that. With that, before the sheriff gets us all up here, we will recess to 10 a.m. on Wednesday, October 11th, 2017, at the Washington Street Courthouse Annex, 310 West Washington Street, Athens, Alabama. Everybody have a wonderful week.